Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use timeless hyaluronic acid and vitamin C serum, which contains 5% of magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a vitamin C derivative that specifically works well on hyperpigmentation, such as dark spots caused by the sun or acne, and it even may help to fade melasma over time. Now, it isn't irritating on the skin, so everyone can use it, even sensitive skin, but the downturn may be compared to ascorbic acid, which is the pure form of vitamin C, that you may not get the anti-aging benefits. And so therefore I believe that they have included hyaluronic acid and Matrixyl to this formulation as well, to kind of replace it so that you still have an anti-aging benefit out of this formulation. So to hydrate the skin, to plump the skin, to increase your collagen production, and to experience more firmness. And so therefore it's a great anti-aging as well as hyperpigmentation serum to look for. Now, you can use this serum, as I already mentioned, on all skin types, and it can be used daily in the morning as well as evening. So you can use it once or twice per day daily. Generally speaking, I would say, well, you can just add it into your current existing skincare routine and you do not need to worry about any conflicts. But it contains Matrixyl, which is a peptide complex, and usually Matrixyl, if you're going to use a peptide serum that contains Matrixyl, it is extremely sensitive to a low pH environment. And so I'm not sure if Matrixyl, doesn't matter what the formulation is, creates this effect, or if the formulation plays a big role as well on how stable the complex will be. And so in this specific case, to make sure that you're getting most out of it, I recommend not using this serum in the same routine if you also use exfoliating acids with a low pH. So this can be exfoliating acid cleansers. This can be leave-on exfoliating acid products such as toners, liquids, solutions, lotions, serums, or even exfoliating acid masks. So please keep them separate. Use your vitamin C in the morning and then your exfoliant in the evening. Just as an example, you can still use both on the same day, but not in the same routine. And so this would be the only conflict to look into. Now, when creating a skincare routine, you can, as already mentioned, use it once or twice per day. So if you want to add it to your morning skincare routine, you're going to get started with the first step, which is washing your face. This can be with water. However, if you're trying to remove any excess oil, dirt, sweat, or even residue from the skincare products that you have applied the night before, I recommend washing your face with a gentle and suitable cleanser for your skin type. Wash your face, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. Then, as an optional step, you can include an hydrating and soothing toner, but you don't have to, you can also skip this step. Apply to the skin, leave it on the skin. Then move on to the hyaluronic acid and vitamin C serum, apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin. And then sun protection during daytime, especially if you're using the serum for your hyperpigmentation, is extremely important. So this can be either a moisturizer that already contains SPF, where you have the 2-in-1, or just finish with your regular sunscreen, and then there you have it. Now, when battling hyperpigmentation, sun protection during daytime is important so that your hyperpigmentation won't get worse, so that it's not going to darken even further, because the darker your hyperpigmentation is going to be, the longer it will take to fade and to lighten up. And so therefore, it is important to apply your sunscreen 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure during daytime. It's important to reapply it if you had a lot of sun exposure. Use about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon for your face and neck, and please also don't forget to reapply it after exercising. So you just saw like an entire infographic about the sunscreen steps and tips that are important to keep in mind when working with sunscreen, so therefore please do not skip it during daytime. Now, if you want to include this serum in the evening, it can look pretty much the same, which of course depends on your entire setup of your skincare routine. But again, you're going to start off with your cleansing step. If you have worn sunscreen as well as makeup throughout the day that your usual cleanser cannot properly remove, do a double cleanse. This means that you either at first are going to work with micellar water and then your usual cleanser, or use an oil or balm cleanser and then move on to your regular cleanser. Wash your face, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. If you want to see a specific video about double cleansing, I have it for you in the top right corner. After your cleansing step, again, the next step can be an hydrating and soothing toner. Apply to the skin, leave it on the skin, then move on to the serum, apply to the skin, leave it on the skin, and then either just finish off with the serum, that's completely fine, or you can finish with an oil and or moisturizer as your last step in your evening skincare routine. And so in the evening, there's no sunscreen needed. You're going to replace this step with your oil and or moisturizer. And that's basically it for our morning as well as evening skincare routine. Now, if you want to go over the conflicts and example skincare routines in your own time, as well as additional information such as the sunscreen guide, you will find everything in the description box down below. You just need to click on the link and you can even download them. Now I want to keep my focus on a morning skincare routine so that you can see the entire application visually as well. So I'm going to get started with the first step, which is washing the face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. I'm going to use Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser. If you have a different one, exchange it. Just make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you should use it. You can wash your face above the sink or in the shower. Either way is fine. Just make sure that you're going to properly remove any excess oil, dirt, sweat in the evening, sunscreen and makeup as well before moving on with the rest of your skincare routine. Now in this example, it is advised to apply the cleanser on wet skin. So first of all, I'm going to wet my skin with lukewarm water to warm water. Then I'm going to use a bit of the cleanser, massage it all over my face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. I always like to include a soft and fresh washcloth in between to properly remove any residue. And then I'm going to pat the skin dry. So let's go ahead and do this. So now go ahead and take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So once you're done with your cleansing step, you can immediately move on to the next step. Now the next step is an optional step. This can be an hydrating and soothing toner. Please again, do not confuse it with an exfoliating acid toner, then it's going to conflict. Now as an example, I'm going to use Timeless Hyaluronic Acid Spray with Matrixyl and Rose Extract. This is very hydrating, soothing and has some anti-aging benefits as well. If you have a different toner that you want to include, go ahead and do so, and then make sure to either apply it with a cotton pad or with your hands, and make sure that you're not going to overdo it with the amount of product that you're going to use. So with a cotton pad, make sure that you're going to saturate it, but it shouldn't be dripping wet when applying it. When it comes to a toner that you're going to dispense like this, use between 5 to 10 drops. However, this one has a spray. You can actually just spray it like this on your face. However, I prefer to apply it with my hands, and then use between 2 to 4 like spritz if you're going to apply it with your hands. Then rub your hands together and evenly blend it all over your face as well as neck. So once you're done with your toner, you have applied it to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now usually a toner absorbs pretty quickly into the skin so that you immediately can move on to the next step. However, if it still feels a bit wet on the skin, just give it like 30 seconds to a minute in between before moving on to the next step. Then you're going to move on to your serums and treatments, and this is where you're going to use Timeless Hyaluronic Acid and Vitamin C Serum. Now you can't just use it on your face, but you can also use it it on your face as well as neck, or maybe just your neck, depending on where you experience your hyperpigmentation. So if you're going to use it for your face alone, use between 3 to 4 drops. If you're going to include your neck as well, you may want to add a couple of drops more so that you have enough product to blend it properly all over. But please do not overdo it when doing the application with a serum in general. And make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. If that's the case, rinse it immediately with water. Then rub your hands together and evenly blend it all over. So once you have applied the serum, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, if this is going to be your evening skincare routine, you can stop right here. This can be the last step. Or you now can follow with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards. When working with an oil, use between 4 to 6 drops for your face and neck. When just using a moisturizer, use about a bean size amount. But you can also use a bit of the moisturizer, about a bean size amount, and then add 2 to 3 drops of your oil as well. Mix it in the palm of your hand and then apply both together in one step. So it's very mixable. You can adjust it depending on the feeling that you prefer. However, during daytime, it is important to follow with sun protection. And as already mentioned, I'm going to finish off with a morning skincare routine. So I'm going to finish off with the sunscreen. Now this can be a moisturizer that already contains SPF, where you have the 2-in-1. So that it has the hydrating and moisturizing properties, but at the same time protects the skin. But depending on your skin type and how your skin feels in general, you may just want to go with a regular sunscreen. And some of the regular sunscreens feel very hydrating on the skin as well, so that you do not need to use an extra moisturizing step in between. So go ahead, see if you feel the need to use a moisturizer, or if you just can skip it when working with a regular sunscreen. For me personally, I'm going to use now COSRX Aloe Soothing Sun Cream. That one feels very light and hydrating on the skin. I do not feel the need to use a moisturizer in between, therefore I'm not going to use one, but I'm going to protect the skin with the sunscreen. Now, generally speaking, you would say use about half a teaspoon for your face and neck, more or less. But this mainly also depends on the texture of your sunscreen, since you should have enough to evenly blend it all over to properly protect your skin when doing the application of your sunscreen. But at the same time, it shouldn't feel thick or heavy or greasy on the skin, because if you feel like you have used way too much sunscreen, well then please reduce it, because it should feel comfortable, and no sunscreen will feel comfortable if you're going to overdo it. So see how much you're going to need, but use a fair amount so that you have enough to properly get along your hairline. Don't forget your ears, your neck as well as behind. So make sure that you're going to use enough for the face neck area when working with a sunscreen that's meant for the face. So and then evenly apply it all over, and take your time to properly blend it in every corner to properly protect the skin. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. You can use the sunscreen around the eyes if it does not irritate your eyes. If it does irritate your eyes, please avoid it, because you're not going to make yourself a favor when doing so, and then usually you would replace it with wearing sunglasses during daytime. So once you're done with the application of your sunscreen, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And so then this is going to be the last step in your morning skincare routine when still focusing on a skincare routine. But of course now, if you would like to continue with your makeup application, you can go ahead and do so. Just wait between 10 to 15 minutes between your sunscreen step and your makeup application, so that you're not going to move around your sunscreen too much when applying your base. And so then then there you have it for a morning skincare routine. Now, I do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful, and if again you find those example skincare routines helpful, you can find everything in the description box down below. Everything is all in PowerPoint slides and you can even download them. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you find it helpful, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to learn more about skincare in general, I have several videos for you on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!